Hi, and welcome to my game theory about Mass Effect. This may be the only game theory I'm gonna do, so bear with me right now. And I'm not used to that kind of message, so anyways, I'll do it pretty short and sweet. So I believe that the Benefactor from the Mass Effect Andromeda is actually the Reapers, and more precisely the AI that created the Reapers. And my reasoning is as follows. When Shepard find out that the Reaper exists, at one point he spoke with Sovereign, and Sovereign said, "You wouldn't understand. Like the sentient races wouldn't understand why they're doing what they're doing." And that kind of gave me an idea that there was much more to it, and I was a bit sad when I learned that the only problem is the synthetics and organic not being able to live together. And I found that kind of weird because why wouldn't the Reaper just keep policing, like traveling and be the guardian of the galaxy and just controlling the species all the time? Why go dormant in dark space? And that is where I started to understand. There is a reason why they go there. Because they could always like salvage any or the organic and keep themselves alive and keep going. So why would they do that? It's because they don't try to attract the scourge. And I believe the Reapers, when they were created, the problem wasn't really the organic versus synthetics. I think the problem was more related to technology and everything that's related to it. And the fact that if the organics create synthetics, that means they come to a point where they use a lot of technology. And by using a lot of technology, as you saw in the Mass Effect Andromeda, the Scourge is attracted to all kind and form of technology or any source of power. So from there, I believe at the beginning, what happened in this cycle in Mass Effect 1, the Reapers tried to activate the Citadel. Didn't work. So they realized something is off, something is not working. While trying to solve that problem, they made themselves visible, and Shepard saw them, and people saw them. That's where they realized the solution isn't working anymore. After many cycles of 50,000 years, everything wasn't working as it should be working, and that means something is off about the solution that they were using. So, what is the solution? Well, the solution would be either do the cycle, but there's a possibility it failed. So, we need to create a new solution. For a new solution, we need a new AI to realize that. And that is where the same nodes come into action. The Reapers, of course, like the collectors, they got agents all over the place. They must have known about the Sam and his creation. And Ryder had problems. The Ryder, the father, had problems to create the same node, and he was missing a vital part of technology to be able to do it. And we know he tried to contact the shadow broker, and the shadow broker said you need to pay, etc., etc. But we know the shadow broker was actually working with the collectors once in a while. So it's not impossible for him to get that technology through the collectors or the Reaper themselves. So from there, you send that AI outside of the Milky Way. But why send it outside of the Milky Way? What is the purpose of this? I think the purpose is actually to see the problem. And like I said, the problem wasn't really the human versus synthetic. The real problem is the result of them using technology. And I think they sent and they promoted and they financed the initiative to send the SAM to see the scourge, analyze it, and as a unlimited AI without shackles, he will adapt, he will learn, and he will try to survive. So when Jien Grey said that she believed that the benefactor sent them to die, in a way she's right. Because the whole and sole purpose of the whole initiative was for the SAM node to be sent in the Andromeda, see the scourge, its evolution, how it works, and come back to the Milky Way with a solution, a new solution. As such, the Reaper aren't really focused on their own survival, but more on the survival of the Milky Way itself. So, when the writer, the father, said that, how can I say that? That at least the Benefactor sent them to survive, it was right. Because the Reaper let them leave the Milky Way. I don't think for such a huge project to be completely hidden from the Reapers and its agent, I don't think it's possible. They couldn't hide that. I think they were aware of it and they pushed for it and they financed and they give all the technology that was available to them without being too much transparent to send them across dark space. And that is how the same node was sent. So what will be the purpose of the next Mass Effect? Well, the purpose of the next Mass Effect, we know it's hundreds of years later, right? We have that vibe of years and years later. So I believe the initiative will come back because they know something bad happened. We got all those memories or dialogue the same node reveals to the son or the daughter of Ryder, explaining that they know something bad happened in the Milky Way. So I believe that Sam will, in a way, try to promote that movement from the Andromeda back to the Milky Way to try and save the human race or all the races of the Milky Way. So the Reapers weren't really the evil guy. The way they were doing it seems evil to us, but they were kind of the guardian, if that is true. They were actually preventing the scourge from getting in the Milky Way and destroying all the planets and making them impossible to live. So now we got a bigger threat. So someone else is worse than the Reapers, and the Reapers were just like a barrier to prevent that from happening. So now, since the solution is obviously not function, like it doesn't function in the first Mass Effect, they see it going, so they move just before Mass Effect 2. They start pushing big time for the Andromeda to leave before they actually move forward with their plan. Because they want to make sure that the SAM is gone just in case the solution works. If the solution doesn't work, at least the SAM is gone. And even if it works and the SAM is gone, now they got a new AI coming back with new solution and new ideas maybe. So what will happen, I think, in Mass Effect 4, we'll realize that the new SAM will use all the races of the Milky Way to find a way to actually bring a real solution to the scourge problem. And that will be how this will be resolved. Some people will say, well, why did the Benefactor kill Jean Grey? Well, the thing is this, Jean Grey has a doubt that they were being sent to die, and she knows about the SAM. And I think she started to put together a few pieces because they knew something was coming, something bad was coming. They knew the Reapers were going to kill everybody, and if that cycle is true, I think she started to realize it's more than just that. We are like a test tube being sent elsewhere. At the beginning, my first theory was the idea that maybe they knew about it, so they just send new human, just in case, well, new human, the races in Andromeda to restart a new cycle over there and just wipe off clean the Milky Way to do a reset and really a complete annihilation of the Milky Way. And now I believe that it's impossible. It's not in their programming to destroy the Milky Way, the Reapers. That wasn't their purpose. And like I said, they were staying in dark space, dormant. Why in dark space, not hiding within the galaxy itself? Again, I think it's a way to keep an eye on the galaxy and how it develops. It evolves, sorry. And at the same time, keep an eye on the dark space and keep an eye for the scourge to make sure that nothing is going to happen. And over the centuries or whatever, they could see that development. So I believe that they saw that movement for Andromeda. And I think their motivation was to send people over there. And after that, we got a lot of situation that happened in Andromeda. And at that point, I believe they're just personal agendas. So literally just sentient being, being themselves, humans and all the races, not being able to get along because we all got our culture and preference and whatnot. So I don't think the whole thing was planned. I just believe that the Reapers only planned for the same node to reach there, and they had agents in the Andromeda initiative to make sure that the same reach there. And from there, he evolves as much as possible and get in contact. And since he's an AI, unshackled AI, he will do everything in his power to stay alive. And that is why, and it feels really interesting at that point because Ryder, the father or the son or the daughter, got so much strength out of the same node. If you remember in Mass Effect 2, even the Reaper started using humans to create new Reaper. So that idea may be to combine an AI, a new AI for a solution with a human, seems plausible. And their purpose was really, really to make sure that they developed that new being that could be transferred from a human to another human, from a sentient being to another sentient being, and make that being so powerful that no odds could go or enemies could go against it. And you see, he got all the knowledge and he can implement all that knowledge and battle skills to whoever is wielding it, or wielding him. I'm not sure he hit or him, being an AI. So, yeah. So, at that point, that's where we are. We got an AI that can promote and switch body, that learns and can actually make whoever is wielding it nearly unstoppable with knowledge that they were unaware, being able to understand, scan, analyze everything that's possible. So the SAM, and that's another thing that I found serious, the SAM, when we get to Andromeda, and it felt kind of awkward when you're playing the game because the SAM can actually scan planets, plants, etc., stuff that we never saw. And yeah, of course, he learned a bit of it, but he can pretty much understand anything so fast. So I'm starting to believe that in his programming, his programmation itself, he has a base knowledge of whatever he was about to encounter. And that knowledge, I believe, comes from the Reaper himself. So from there, that is my theory. And keeping it short, but I don't know what you guys think. If you want to leave comments or whatever, it's up to you. I think I posted a small comment on the game theory for MatPat to look at it. But I do believe that this is really plausible and it's really interesting. I think it's better that idea, that is the shadow broker would be the benefactor or even the elusive man, because even the elusive man wouldn't work with all the other races, and a lot of stuff didn't make really sense. um, so instead of thinking that maybe Lexi the doctor is actually the benefactor or Liara, it seems more plausible there is a greater scheme that is happening in the background, something that nobody was focusing on, not realizing that everything's connected together. And if I remember I try to remember where I saw that. There is a journalist somewhere from a gaming website that did an interview with one of the creator writer of Mass Effect Andromeda, and he asked him who is the benefactor, and he said the benefactor is not somebody that we know, but it's something or someone that is going to be long gone by the time we find out who it is. So I believe what he meant by that is that it was the Reapers themselves, and the Reapers are long gone. So by the time we realized that the whole thing was planned by the Reapers to try to save the Milky Way and all the future sentient beings and etc., I do believe that this works. So yeah, on this I'll stop this video. Of course, I've put behind this video just some gameplay footage from one of my gameplay. So yeah, enjoy. And really the whole purpose of this video is to share that idea that we got the theory that the Benefactor is actually the Reapers, or at least the catalyst. And let's see if it works. I just hope some people can actually take an eye to it and really invest some time and see if we can actually find out if everything works in that direction. So on this, all right, and enjoy yourself.